How are you, Shabana? It's
Yeah,
lovely
hi.
to have you here. And
Thank
you
you
look
so much,
gorgeous.
Ansh. Thank you. Same to you. You look gorgeous as always.
Thank you so much. So let's start with how would you like to describe the energy of this gathering?
So I have been a governing body member of the BRICS Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I've been a founder member. I've seen the chamber growing from 2012 to what it is today, and I'm overwhelmed. I fail in words. It's such a wonderful feeling. It's a feeling like you've actually seen a little baby grow into a beautiful, youthful, beautiful youth this day. And I have great expectations from the members of the chamber, like Pranji, who's also holding this summit and who's the president of the healthcare vertical. I'm heading the education vertical. Ms. Ruby Srivastava, she's heading the women vertical. We're all indebted to our Director General, Mr. Dr. BVL Madhukar, who it was his vision to start this chamber way back in 2010. He started the chamber. Who would have thought that BRICS would grow to this, size, and the BRICS concept would have grown so big? And particularly now that India is going to be hosting the BRICS, it's going to be the hosting nation in 2026. I think we are riding on the most beautiful times as far as BRICS Chamber is concerned. And as far as the gathering is concerned, the energy is electric, and we're very pleased to have the Honorable Minister for Ayush over here, and some of the most prestigious people have gathered together. And of course, the Baidyanath Group has also been instrumental in having a very powerful meet today.
Speaking of growth of BRICS and at the same time how government itself is trying to push Ayush, how do you see this collaboration?
This collaboration is going to go a long way because alternative medicine backed with ancient science is something that now the world is falling back to. There were times, when people would not. There was a time when allopathy had just taken over. But now, with people not finding respite in allopathy, they're going back to ancient medicines. And this synergy, like the way the government has actually established a ministry, the kind of impetus the government is giving, this synergy is going to go a very long way.
What do you feel about this new study program where students will be actually studying Ayurveda and then they will have doctor in front of their name?
Yes, it's very good. This should have happened long time back because Ayurveda is something which India has been, has propagated. India, the Vedas have an Ayur and Veda together has been one of the foundation, of the Indian philosophy in terms of medicine, in terms of healing. And India has been a destination for people who have taken to yoga, who have taken to meditation, who have taken to ancient medicine from a very long time back. You see, you go back in history. Steve Jobs had come to India, and there he found his. He actually found salvation. He actually found what he wanted to do with his life. So looking back, I mean, people come to India to look for meaning. They have found meaning, when they have visited, say, Varanasi, went to all these places. So while India is a tech giant, the ancient medicine and the Ayurveda, the rich heritage that we have, makes India again a great destination for medical tourism as well, for Ayur tourism. We could also be promoting that.
Since you just mentioned the history and you have already told our viewers how happy you are with the present, that is the growth of BRICS, what do you think the future holds for BRICS and Ayush as well?
So BRICS has a great future. Like as you're saying, that there's a geopolitical shift, and the BRICS nation are bonding very well, and they're saying that it's always not the mighty who will be calling the shots, whereas people who the nations who mean well, think well, have been working very hard for the economic reforms. When they get together, they become a very powerful force. So while there was a time when the developed nations would just bully around and get the way across, now the developing nations under the BRICS umbrella, they are joining hands together and becoming a force to be reckoned with. So we're saying that actually this is going to be the future.
In today's event, we had the Honorable Minister himself and delegates from all over the places. What is the one thing that you'll say you'll take home as a learning from this event?
So the sincere approach of the government towards Ayush, and the fact that so many people have taken out time to be a part of this particular event speaks a lot. It's because people are genuinely interested. They genuinely want that there should be a shift from the mainstream allopathy towards Ayush, and that Ayush should be a part of our routine life, a regular life, like the way yoga should become a part of our everyday life. So, the fact that the Honorable Minister himself is present, the fact that you have the entire chamber, our chairman, vice chairman, the president of various verticals, they're all here. You're having full presence over here. So these, it's a beautiful message to everyone that yes, we are very sincere and we really want that Ayush should be our mainstream now.
As you just said that people are actively trying to go back to the Ayurveda now. As we all know, with the modernization and colonialization, we all were trying to adapt westernization into our culture, and we somehow in our subconscious mind it was told us that they are superior to us, and that is why allopathy is better. When do you think it clicked everyone that we need to go back to our roots and find the cure in the Ayurveda, which was always there?
So, as you yourself were saying, allopathy is always, it's a management. It's a way you manage your treatment. There is no cure in allopathy. Allopathy cannot cure you, whereas Ayurveda is a way to 100% healing. It can cure you. I'm a beneficiary. So that's one of the reasons why you see I'm sitting over here. I've been throughout the
You
event.
went through any Ayurveda treatment?
Yeah, I have had a very severe autoimmune problem for 5 years. I was taking steroids when I used to go to doctors, and finally the cure came through Ayurveda. So the shift, the answer is that there is no cure in allopathy. Cure, if you really want healing in cure, but you have to be disciplined. You just cannot think that, oh,
it will happen overnight.
yeah, it will not happen overnight. 1 month I'm not finding any results. I took the medicines for almost 4-5 months, and then yes, I did see the results. Whereas I was going from one allopathic doctor to other, not that they meant anything wrong, but they were saying, but the allergy, that the problem that I had, urticaria was my problem. They have no cure in allopathy.
Wow.
And so many autoimmune diseases, they do not have any cure. So yeah, I mean the shift is happening when people are realizing that there is no cure in allopathy. Allopathy is just a way to manage your sort of whatever disease you may have. You can just manage it through allopathy.
As
And by time maybe, while you find your cure in Ayurveda and alternative medicines.
It is said that precaution is always better than the cure, and if we speak about allopathy, not really precaution, but with time our lifestyle has changed, our diet has changed, and people have started taking supplements in the form of tablets. What kind of precaution is there in Ayurveda?
So, see, Ayurveda gives you a lot of these medicines like ashwagandha, which are basically to improve your immune system. So, a lot of these medicines that have, embedded. I'm the kind of, I'm a corporate honcho, So, in our very fast-moving lifestyle, we go to the doctor,
Right.
we take the medicines, but I haven't studied exactly. But what I can tell you is that there's so many medicines in Ayurveda, which are start from say Chyawanprash, which
Yes.
builds your immune system. So you must, we must include them in our regular routine life, so that we try and avoid going to the allopathic doctor as much as possible. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are doctors and they will hate me for saying all this, but I'm a great proponent of Ayurveda.
I remember my mother feeding me Chyawanprash ki ek chammach in winters every day, and things were amazing back then. But since we have been on our own, we have shifted to those supplements.
Yeah.
The supplements I was talking to you about, I myself take iron and multivitamins because with age, I don't want my bones to get weaker. But as you said, ashwagandha, amla, and all these.
Triple L. I mean, all these things, so when we were younger, we used to take that in our regular routine diet, but now no. But then, yes, again, we are going back to our old ancient, dietary.
Do you take this good diet?
Yeah,
That
do
is the
try.
reason of your good skin?
Oh, thank you so much. I don't think my skin is still as good as yours, but yes.
It's shining,
But
it's
yeah,
glowing.
Thank you. So I start my day with almonds and with apricots, dried apricots.
Wow.
So those are the things that we start our day. Of course, Chyawanprash during the winters is essential. Then I also have taking certain concoction,
Okay.
which is we call it soft pani.
Yes,
jeera
yes,
ka
I
pani,
remember my
all of
mother
that.
suggesting this.
Yes. So all of that we're trying to do, and
Wow.
turmeric is again something which
Of
we are
course.
including in our routine diet regularly.
The best antiseptic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is fantastic.
So I think it's been a great.
This was a great conversation. Thank you so much for the tips.
Thank you for
I
having me
will
over.
take all the soft ka pani and everything that you are taking in the morning so that I can also have this glowy skin.
You were naturally blessed. You must be younger, much younger to my children also.
That is why you are saying this. When I am your age, I want to look half beautiful as you are looking right
Thank
now.
you so much.
That
I
would be
feel-
an achievement.
Feeling very delighted.
All right.
And have a great session and a great life ahead.
Thank you so much, Shabana.